Hey, what's up guys? It's Cypher from CypherPK.com, and today I'm bringing you my promised Templar tank build. Now, before I start, I do want to say something real quick about the origins of this build. This build was given to me from Azoy, and he is a DC Templar, one of the OG Health Templar tanks. And to give him some credit, I want to credit his YouTube channel in the description. So if you want to see this build in action or variations of this build in action, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel, show him some love, and tell him that Cypher sent you. I also do want to say that the Sorcerer build I posted yesterday, I got a lot of help from Cody putting together that build, and I forgot to give him credit for the build. So I'm also going to credit Cody and put his description and his YouTube channel on that video and on this video if you want to go check out his YouTube channel. So go show them some love, and I'm going to jump right into this build. So I didn't want to upload this build just because this build is very obnoxious to go against, and it shows some of the aspects of PvP that I don't really like, but nonetheless it is a fun build to play if you know what you're doing, and you can get some kills against some unfortunate foes. But it's the type of build that if you're going against players who know what they're doing, usually you won't be able to get or secure kills, and they could wear you down or just ignore you for that matter. So here is the build. All right, it's a one-hand and shield dual wield setup. Let's start off with the one-hand and shield setup. We got structured entropy because that's going to give us 8% max health, and this build is all about stacking health to get more damage out of your blazing shield. Now, blazing shield is a Templar ability, and it scales based off of your maximum health, and it does damage based off of your maximum health. So a really strong shield, and this is where most of your damage is going to be coming from. Invigorating Drain, this is going to be a decent CC, and it's also going to give you some ultimate return, and it restores health based off of missing health. So this also scales with your maximum health, and you'll notice that a lot of the abilities here scale with your maximum health to give you the best efficiency possible. Absorb Magic, this absorbs a projectile and heals you based off of your maximum health, 17% to be exact. So this is another ability that's going to heal you based off of max health, and pretty good for sustain and just keeping your health topped off. We got Honor the Dead. This is just a mana dump in case you need just a little bit extra healing, because these healing abilities require a target. This one is just completely defensive, and you don't need a target to top yourself off. Spell Wall. This is the one-hand and shield Reflect ultimate. We're going with the Reflect morph. It's really useful, especially when you're being kited. The big counter to this build is when people play from range and start kiting you. So if a lot of people are attacking you from range with snipes, with crystal fragments, crushing shock, you put up your spell wall and you're immune to projectiles, and you even reflect them for 7 seconds. Back bar, we got dual wield. Elusive Mist for mobility and just damage reduction. Puncturing Sweep just for a little bit more extra pressure if needed. You could also put Radiant Destruction here. You don't necessarily need Puncturing Sweep. Toppling Charge to gap close. Extended Ritual, which is going to increase your healing by 30%, and also when you're standing inside it, and also cleanse you of dots. Really useful with passive healing. Channeled Focus, which is going to give you Magicka Return, which is very important for this build considering it's full heavy armor. It doesn't have a huge amount of magic recovery. And it also is going to give you Major Resolve and Major Ward, making you a little bit more tanky and harder to kill. For the ultimate, we have Devouring Swarm. This is going to be good to keep your health going and just add a little bit extra AoE pressure. So let's jump right into the sets. Now, I do want to say that these sets are expensive, hard to obtain, and in some ways you might go insane trying to get them. I got very lucky with some of the stuff that I got in here. We are running Malabeth, heavy, and medium shoulders, impenetrable. Maximum health on all enchants. Now for Undaunted, you can run Malabeth, you can run Pirate Skeleton, you can run Grothdar. There's a lot of different options, but I felt like Malabeth gave you the best survivability. As much as I hate this set gives you everything you need for this build as far as giving you the max health bonus and giving you insane heals. We're also running 5 pieces of Plague Doctor, which gives you maximum health, maximum health, 4% healing taken, and 6k max health. We're running Impen on all the Plague Doctor pieces, except the legs. I don't think the legs, I mean, they might drop an Impen, but for some reason the legs are very, very, very rare to get an Impen for whatever reason. So I went with Sturdy, giving you 4% reduced block cost. The waist is the Desert Rose belt. This is going to complete the 5-1-1 setup. 5 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light to give you the 6% bonus from Undaunted. And then for jewelry, we have 2 Desert Rose and 1 Plague Doctor with Magicka Recovery on all the jewelry enchants. Sword and shield, we have Desert Rose sword and shield, sharpen on the sword, and then impenetrable on the shield, maximum health with spell damage bonus on this one. And we have dual wield swords, Desert Rose, which is going to give you the bonus from the dual wield passive onto your magic abilities, and we have sharpen on both. So the setup here is for Desert Rose, your weapons are Desert Rose, sword and shield, and dual wield. Your jewelry, you got 2 Desert Rose, 1 Desert Rose belt, and then for Plague Doctor, you got a Plague Doctor ring with 4 on the body, and then 2 Malabeth. This is the most efficient way to run these sets because you're able to get the 5-1-1. You're also able to get a healthy ring because you could run Desert Rose on the jewelry alone and just run Plague Doctor on the body, but then you miss out on some extra health from the healthy ring because Desert Rose doesn't come in healthy. Now, Malabeth shoulders you get from doing Undaunted. The helmet you get from doing one of the Undaunted dungeons. Plague Doctor drops in a specific location, so this is a tradable item, overworld drop. And then Desert Rose, the only way to get Desert Rose is if you buy it from other people, or if you go and gamble your alliance points. Here in Cropsford, there is a NPC that you can buy Desert Rose boxes from and get items from him. But again, I spent a couple million alliance points to get these swords and the sword and shield. It's these swords coming in sharpened and the sword and shield. It's very hard to get, and they're very expensive. Even getting the impenetrable armor piece, it could cost you. But I'm sure some people might be selling them in guild stores and whatnot. So that's the sets. Let's look a little bit into the stats real quickly. Stage 4 Vampirism, we are a vampire for the damage reduction, Bat Swarm, and Mist Form. We're using the Atronach Mundus. And for food, we're just using increase health, stamina, and max magicka. Our magicka recovery is at 1600. Stamina recovery 600. 66k max health. 18k max magicka, 15k stamina. Spell critical 22%, but that doesn't really matter too much. And resistances unbuffed 23k, 18k, buffed 28k, 23k. I also want to mention for all the people that are going to be like, yo, Cypher, this build sucks dick. I have 90k maximum health, and you only have 66k. Well, the thing is, this build can sustain extremely well. And the reason is Desert Rose. Desert Rose, when you take damage, you have a 10% chance to restore 2.4k magicka. This effect can occur once every 10 seconds. If you watch this build in action, it hits really hard when people are attacking your shields, but you also rarely ever run out of magicka. You can also get magicka back while you are in Mist Form using Channeled Focus, and the Desert Rose can also proc. So you can be in Mist Form, and your max magicka can get completely topped off. So extremely efficient maximum magicka. You do not need 80k, 90k health to be a Blazing Shield Templar. You can even get away with 50k health and still be effective. So I play this build solo, but obviously this build is probably played best with a small group of 4 players because you'll need some extra damage done to deal with some, stronger opponents. But it's a very, very good tank setup. Let's go into the champion points really quickly. Oh, and for race, I am an Imperial. Imperial is probably my favorite pick, but Nord and Argonian also works well. Let's go into the champion points really quickly. We got a lot of points into cost reduction, some into recovery, Shadow Ward and Tumbling, reduced block cost and reduced CC break. 10 points into Blessed, 18 into Elfborn, 93 into Elemental Expert, and 29 to Spell Erosion. 5 points into Shattering Blows, 32 into Thaumaturge, increasing dot damage. Over here we have 10 into Resistance, 15 Thick Skinned, 26 Elemental Defender, 39 Hardy, and 97 into Bastion. Pretty standard CP setup for a build of this kind. Again, the abilities are as shown. The abilities are pretty flexible. You can actually put a lot of different things in and out. You don't necessarily have to run the abilities as they're shown here, but they're pretty flexible. So that's the build, guys. I know I'm going to get some hate for posting this build, but at the end of the day, this build exists in the game, and there's people out there running it. And my job here as a PvP build person, a PvP, you know, is this a trap beast? We'll put this here. As a PvP player, like, at the end of the day, I want to share the information with you guys. I'm sure I went over the enchants, right? I put maximum health on every body piece and shield. Spell damage here, deal magic damage, restore magicka, and then recovery on the jewelry. Just making sure everybody knows that. That's about it for the build, guys. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of different variations of the build. You can drop Desert Rose. You can run a lot of different things. But yeah, I will try to get this on my website, cypherpk.com, and it will be on my YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will see you guys next time. Take